This is the Voice of Kakuma, sponsored by Sema Box Africa under Kakuma Sound. And I'm your host, Amanda, and I'm here with
Awuol.
and our guest, please.
Petna and Ndaliko.
So, Petna,
Yes.
as we can see, Agrolibaration is a combination of two words. So, do you mind explaining it to us?
Explaining Agrolibaration.
Yes.
Well, Agroliberation become difficult to explain since it is embodiment practice. You have to live it, to understand it, know it. It is a way of understanding or embodying what we call sovereignty. And that would be food sovereignty, narrative sovereignty, and just what sovereignty or if you want, spiritual sovereignty. Really finding ways within ourselves, really, and also trying to understand how to think how to think the world from a specific place when we're living in a defragmented world.
Okay. And what exactly inspired you to start Agrolibaration?
What inspired me to start Agroliberation? By the way, the first person who talked about the concept of Agroliberation is the great Amilcar Cabral, who's known as one of the greatest leaders of the Africa's independence movement, from Guinea. And the professing of agro-liberation in the way we reclaim it now. It is more not from army struggle, because for them it was much more in bearing guns and reclaim the independence of the continent of Africa. For us, it's more running really the narrative sovereignty and be able to articulate that into growing food sufficiency, but also at the same time, growing food that means be able to articulate all the possibilities of reimagining community from the basics.
Okay. And by starting it, what problems exactly were you trying to solve in the camp?
Well, Agroliberation did not start in a camp. It started in communities that were going through hardship due to colonialism, to dismemberment. And the dismemberment act in a way that system of oppression managed to dismember cultural that were helping us to remember how to deploy ourselves as a communities. And agro-liberation, when you activate it, especially in communities that are displaced, that become the beginning of reimagining community, how you make a new community when you are in displacement. And once you manage to make a community, then values become a shared practice. When values become a shared practice, it is possible to voice concerns, it's possible to voice needs. And when you're voicing those needs, if you have already access to the basics of the human needs, then the possibilities are endless. You have plenty of possibilities. So starting that was really to be able to imagine possibilities within communities that have been dismembered. But how do we remember them? And by remembering them, it is one of the basic things is food. You want to have access to food. You can grow your own food. Then dependency on not begging, but expecting food from other sources, change also in a way that your own decisions start to grow in organic way.
Okay. Petna, we would like to ask you, how can agriculture become a tool in economic for economic dependency in Kakuma and host community?
Well, that's a beautiful question in a way that, the capacity to grow your own food, it is crucial to the beginning of the first step toward autonomy. Why and how do we do that here in this compound of Kakuma Sound? It is first. The first step is to create the capacity of folks here to already start imagining the possibilities of production of food. And that's by giving members of the community or certain families beds where they can grow food. And then we start working together to it, an understanding of how to work with the land instead of using the land. That means what do we grow? What particular seeds or plants take from the soil, and if we couple it with other crops, how do that combination help the soil to regenerate? So, and with that practice, we're expecting that food production will grow to a point where part of it will be for personal consumption, and another one will be for seed keeping, and the third part will be for the market. And the market will provide, will contribute to the local economy, and and then also supply food to the hosting community as well. And these Agrolibaration include both people who are in a refugee situation and the host community. So this is how amazing it's going to be. But all of that, it is also how do you really remember? How do you remember the songs? How do you remember the music from home? How do you remember food from home? Where even seeds that are growing, let's say in Sudan, or they're growing in a Congo, or they're growing in Ethiopia, can still find their way here, and people can eat our food and remember. So that's only that will be people who are living in refugee here. They are becoming a plus to the local community. They're not taking, but they are contributing, right? And then the host, they're feeling like, oh wow, this is what we are learning also for the people we welcome here. And that is what you call grassroots peace building.
Oh, that's really good. What are the challenges that what's the biggest challenge that you faced in in building the Agrolibaration, and how did you overcome it?
Well, it's interesting to think in terms of challenges, right? Because there is always challenges. So which one do we face? The same one. The only thing that is really difficult is the fact that Agrolibaration is being activated from places that are holistic, and this holistic, understanding of a lot of projects, if they are not understanding from a Western point of view, they are difficult to get, let's say, funding. Because they need to fit in the narrative that has been already imposed internationally. They need to fit in a structure that is hierarchical, from the Western point of view. That's the biggest challenge. But other than that, community the community remembers. Community, they know how to remember.
True.
And whenever we activate that, we put a community together, people being from Burundi or Sudan, once you ask them about what plant do you remember that used to heal you, they will remember the plant. And then from there, the conversation will start on what other plant can we combine with to heal a certain disease. The same way, when you activate art, as knowledge keeping posture, then you start finding solutions to all the challenges that are there. If we start, and the good thing about Agrolibaration, it is the fact that it is a regenerative practice. So as soon as we find a way of activating the loop, all we need is to close it. And that's where, as we are saying earlier here, you grow food, and that food, that you are capable also of creating your own market, but you're also capable of keeping seeds. And that therefore, everything at the end of the day, the circle is in place where each part will feed the other one. So challenges, so agro-liberation, in fact, it is created to liberate the needs of dependency.
So, Petna, what's one misconception that people have about farming in the refugee setting?
What's your question again?
What's one misconception that people have about farming in the refugee setting?
The misconception?
Yeah.
Well, because, I guess farming in a refugee space is temporary. And farming is supposed to be an activity that people see that is permanent, right?
Yeah.
And but the bigger question, the very interesting question about this, though, it is when we inhabit the space where we don't know when we're gonna move out of that space. Do we call it temporary or we call it permanent? It's a philosophical question, and if we want to stay in this box of understanding, because you call me a refugee, and therefore I will live my entire life in a limbo. It doesn't make sense. It's absurd, right? Yeah. So practically, the way we will address that important question that just raised there, it is to be able to say, I am thinking the world from here, therefore I act now, right? And without that concept of temporary, find ways in its complexity.
Okay. So, how do you really balance academic research with real world impacts?
I think when we look at all these things, approaching everyday practice, everyday life, the academia is not out of it.
True.
Right? And in terms of agro-liberation, I think it becomes much more interesting when the academia is capable to catch up with the real life instead of trying to act as if it was outside of the real life. So mixing it becomes easier when it is the other way around, when academia is not trying to fix itself as if, with this hierarchical way of thinking with a godly complex. Yeah.
That's good. As a Voice of Kakuma, we deal with culture and music. And I would like to ask a question that's related to that. Is agro-liberation related to music?
Wow. Agro-liberation is related to music. Well, as I said earlier, it's about narrative sovereignty. Then when you talk about narrative sovereignty, it is how really do you understand yourself and how do you talk about yourself? What culture are you activating to be able to inhabit the world in a possibility of being a co-author instead of being a consumer? See, look, if you ask me or you, I guess, and any other person, right, Amanda? Huh? Like you ask and say, how did you grow up? You know that most of our activities, whenever we do them, we sing, we talk. So music is part of the culture. So therefore, if I want to think from the perspective of where I grew up from, or where I am from, then all those aspects will be part of my thinking. So in Agrolibaration, actually, music, filmmaking, poetry, really art is at the core of everything. It is the capacity to imagine creatively solutions to social challenges. And art, that's what art.
Wow, that's good. What advice can you give to the musician or artist and the poet? What advice can you give them in relevant to agroalization?
There is no limit in creativity. We should go inside ourselves as creative people, musicians, poets, painters, filmmakers, storytellers, should go deeper into our sense of imagining the world and keep on imagining more possible, beautiful world out there. And we cannot stop doubting. Let's doubt, but let's keep on also dreaming and making it possible.
Okay. And what advice will you give to young people who would want to become researchers, innovators, or entrepreneurs? Personally, I'll want to become a researcher one day. So, what advice will you give me?
As a personal one, I would dream to become a researcher, and just stay curious. Keep on asking the right questions. Stay curious, ask the right question, and really be yourself. Talk from a point of view, I think, talk from a point of view that you understand better. And that is, from where you're from. Think the world from where you are.
So, curiosity is the secret, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Petna, if you have unlimited fundings, let's talk of funding. What will be your dream project for Kakuma?
If I have unlimited access to funding, first of all, I know I have already unlimited access to funding.
Okay.
That is clear, because the biggest funder that I can ever think of, it's my own brain. It's my own belly. It's my own heart. So I have access to that. No question about that. My dreaming situation in Kakuma here will be to have at least a decentralized, decentralized numbers of agro-liberation programs where you have music recordings, community journalism. You have farming. You have Mama's Kitchen. You have literacy. You have data sovereignty spaces. And you have seed keeping huts all over the camp. That would be amazing to see people start relying on their own narrative and on their own food that they produce and have a good relationship with the land.
Okay. And what legacy do you hope that Agrolibaration will leave for the next generation?
The legacy, it is just independence. People will be free from international aid. People will be more invested in international solidarity.
Okay. So thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it. And do you have any question? Maybe for
Any
joke.
question?
Mhm.
Ah, that's beautiful. Any question will be, why are you so amazing, you guys? You managed to dream within this camp, but you're dreaming beyond, and you're creating a new wonderful world. How do you do that?
How do we do that? Okay, if I answer you the way I want to,
Okay.
yeah, I really didn't expect it, but I'll say that maybe I was created like that to dream beyond and have a bright future. Yes, I don't know about joke.
Mine, I'm really passionate about something, and I like trying my very best. And to that, I really thank God that I found myself sometime going slow and slow, and a little bit I'm pushing. And yeah, that is it.
Yeah, there's actually one question I forgot to ask. Yes,
What is
sure.
it?
So what really keeps you going, or what motivates you when you feel like everything like has turned around and things are not working the way you want them to work?
In their situation, what keeps me going? Well, it is the capacity of seeing people keep on dreaming. I'm talking to you here. You didn't stop dreaming. And when we talk, we work together, and I see the result of your happiness. Yesterday, children were dancing here after the show, the official show, right? Children were dancing, and I was in the middle of them. I became a kid again. And that is like a resetting my entire system again. We're just playing, running with them, and falling in the sand, and then they laugh, and we laugh. That capacity of joy that can come from unexpected places. Is the key. It's magic. That's helped me to keep going.
And who is your biggest role model, and what will you love to tell them?
My biggest role model. There are so many. I was surrounded by love my entire life, and I've been meeting amazing people. So I cannot only point one. They have been so amazing, but the one I can point, it is clear. It is my mother, my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother, and my great-great-great-grandmother. They have been phenomenal. And then all the people I've met in my life who've been just amazing. And my children, they're just phenomenal.
Yeah, tell them something. They might be watching you right now.
What should I tell them?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Love, joy, and let's keep on dreaming. I love you guys.
Wow.
Yes, so keep going, never give up, and everything will work out. Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you here.
Mhm.
Yes.
I guess we're done.